Hi and welcome to the channel. I am Jessica Brooks. So in today's video, I want to just talk about being an entrepreneur. I see that over the past few years, it has been somewhat of a trend of not wanting to work for other companies, which there's nothing wrong with that. Either way, there's nothing wrong with it. But I just had on my heart this, I guess it was yesterday, really. I was just thinking about this yesterday. And it came to me to ask even myself, as a entrepreneur of a primary care clinic and a home care agency. When you think about your why for wanting to be an entrepreneur, when you think about all the tasks that it takes to run a company, when you think about all the work, the never ending work, being, feeling basically alone in that journey of building something that wasn't already there, not having that support groups, not having, the network at times to branch off of or to bounce ideas off of. Sometimes you won't have that. And it made me think about, is the motivation of not working for others enough? Is that enough for you to continue to go through the struggles of building a company? Is that enough just to make you stay doing it? Where at times, even in my own experiences, and I'm sorry the lighting is a little bit rough this morning because it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm already up trying to get my day going. And I have my light, but there's light behind me. So if it looks weird, I apologize. But I just kind of wanted to come on here and chat anyway. And I hope that it finds the right person. I'm talking to myself as well, this morning. So I guess technically I found the right person, because this is just something that I was thinking about. And in what I've noticed over the past few years, and this isn't the first business that I've had, it's been the longest that I've stayed with. And then I think it's because of my reasoning. I'm going to put my sweater on because I'm a little cold too. It's because of my reasoning that I have that helps to drive my desire to continue even during the hard times. And of course, there will be, that light is changing and it's getting worse. Okay. I'm so sorry about the lighting, but we're going to roll with it. So, what I've noticed is there's what you may hear people saying now are ebbs and flows, ups and downs, basically is what that means. Where there may be times when things are running smoothly, everything just seems to be organized, everything just seems to be running well with your business and your life. And then you have other moments when things aren't running as well. And it makes you, during those times, of course, when you're not having the best of luck, or things may be a little bit more challenging than what they've been, to where you feel like this is when possible what we call imposter syndrome. I'm going to turn because I think it's because the sun is actually about to start coming up. It's making this lighting get worse. So one moment. Are you in need of a healthcare provider? Well, look no further. At ARS Medical Primary Care, we are always accepting new patients, and we would love to assist you in your healthcare needs. Contact us today from the information in the bio. Thank you. All right, so hopefully that's a little bit better. I don't know. But I don't plan on being on here much longer anyway. And I just wanted to kind of come and just bring this question to you. Maybe it'll make you think about your why for running your business or whatever it is that you have going on in life, why you're doing what you're doing. Um, because times will get hard, right? It's just inevitable. Things are not always going to be perfect. Things are not always going to be running smoothly, efficiently. You'll have problems. You'll have to identify those problems. You'll have to create a strategy for, for basically eradicating those problems or making adjustments to whatever your business is. And then hoping for the best outcome, and then you'll go through it again. So it just makes me think, like, and I go through this I would say probably every few weeks or so, when things, especially in a new business, when you feel like things are not where you thought they would be at this point, or your expectations might have been higher than what they should have been. You sometimes second guess, and you get imposter syndrome, and you get, all the things that make you wonder, like, am I really supposed to be doing this? And then you have to think, well, why? Why am I doing this? For me, and I will kind of briefly talk about my why for wanting to have a primary care clinic and work in preventative health care. My why actually started back in 2017 when I became a registered nurse. I was already an LPN, but I became a registered nurse, and I changed my setting that I was working in. I started working in the hospital setting. And I worked in a long-term acute care, an LTAC. It's a hospital. They do hospital things, but it just says long-term because the hospital stay is longer than your typical maybe 3 to 4 days that you normally get in a hospital setting. This type of setting is for patients that are on ventilators or have extensive wounds that they need longer care than the typical hospital stay will allow. And so that's where the LTAC comes in. So when I went there, I noticed that there were quite a few young, in maybe 30s, females, black females to be exact, that were there, and they had major strokes. Strokes to the point that majority of them, I know there was 3 at the time when I came to the unit, and two of those 3 were not going to recover. Actually, while one of them was there, she actually passed away. She had small children and a husband. There was another one that was basically, she had I'm not sure about a spouse, but she did have a daughter that was a teenager. She had a stroke that was so catastrophic that she had to have part of her skull removed while the swelling decreased. But she was basically left in a state to where she could not talk. She could see, and I assume she could comprehend, but she could not. You weren't fully able to know if she could or not, because the only thing she could do was look around. She couldn't get up. She couldn't walk. She couldn't do anything for herself. She couldn't communicate. And then there was the other one. She was doing okay, but it was a real struggle for her as well. I don't know the full outcome. She left from there and went to, I think, a rehab facility. So she was a little better off than the other 2 as far as the status at that time anyway. But they were all there, the same reason. Strokes due to hypertension. And I say that if you are a medical professional, whether you're a nurse – nurse practitioner, PA, what have you, MD, You know that majority of the time, depending on the reason for the hypertension, this is a condition that is reversible and preventable from progression. But I think at some point along the way in our healthcare system in the United States, that there's multiple reasons of why people are not treating this condition or not fully being treated as far as helping to reverse this. I think there is the education of African Americans, the trust factor of African Americans and the healthcare system plays a role. Financial, there is a lot of reasons, but this is a reversible and preventable condition that I think we have become accustomed to this being our norm of it's okay to have high blood pressure, not take the medication, not do something to reverse it, especially if you weren't born with a condition that causes, or you have not there hasn't been an established condition that is the primary reason for the hypertension. If it's secondary to just your diet, lifestyle, stress, those are all reversible, modifiable things that can help reduce or reverse this hypertension. So I'm not going to rant too much about it because I'm kind of getting into like education, but I just wanted to say that's my why. I think about that all the time, and because I wonder, like, I could have done anything else. I've done so many things in my life that I could have done anything else besides decide to be a primary care nurse practitioner. But I chose this, and that was my why. So I'm in the process of trying to reach as many people as I can to help better manage and hopefully reverse certain conditions like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, which are three of the things that we see, which there's so many conditions, right? But there are three of the things that we see common in most other conditions that lead to a lot of the other conditions. So if we can work together, I believe if we can work together as a provider and a patient to reverse or manage these things so to where there's not so much medication needed, not so much stress on the body, I think we can have a better outcome with these conditions. And that is my plan as far as my clinic. And that's my goal, to reach as many people and help in those situations. So I'm not going to hold you all any longer. I just wanted to come to you, and I want you to keep that question in your mind when you're thinking of being an entrepreneur, or if you are an entrepreneur, and revisit it from time to time. Is it enough for my why to be just not working for other people, which is keeping me being an entrepreneur? Is that enough, or is it something deeper? What is there that's deeper? And if you would like to share, I would like to know what your why is. You can share it down in the comments, and or if you don't want to, that's fine. But I would like to know. Okay, so I'm not going to hold you any longer. I'm going to get off of here, go get me some breakfast, and start doing my administrative work for today before I see patients. So make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.